Up with KREM begins now.
6 o'clock here on your Monday morning. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Up with KREM. I'm Tim Pham.
And I'm Nicole Hernandez. And it is a big morning.
Oh, yeah.
Tens of thousands of students are heading back to school this morning. So happy first day of school.
Oh, that first day of school feeling.
I know, right? It's a good one. Well, a lot of different districts, including Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, are heading back today.
We also want to say good morning and welcome back to the students, parents, families, and teachers in the Kootenai Joint School District, Lakeland, Pend Oreille, Plummer Worley, and North Idaho STEM. A lot of students heading back to school today. Hard to believe summer's over, but that's what, kind of Labor Day. It's that kind of transition between summer and fall, but certainly not feeling like fall.
I was going to say the good news, it doesn't feel like summer's over yet in terms of the weather. So we've got a weather impact alert actually in effect for basically the entire week through Thursday. It's because of hot temperatures either near or at or above 100 degrees. This is again through Thursday, so we just need to make sure we're conscious of staying cool and staying hydrated, especially for your kiddos who are heading out, potentially doing recess, outdoor lunch. Make sure you're giving them plenty of water and breaks as these hot temperatures are really hitting our region. Today, we're going to see those temperatures close to, if not at 100 degrees pretty much everywhere. A lot of this year, we've seen those temperatures out in central Washington, but not quite here in eastern Washington and North Idaho. Today, that's different. Not only are we going to be seeing that potential for 100 degrees, but it's also record-breaking for this specific day. So if you are going to be outside, make sure you're listening to your body and know the symptoms of heat illnesses. Heat cramps can be the first sign something is wrong, like muscle pain and tightness. It can then progress to heat exhaustion, which would mean you would be sweating heavily and you would be fatigued. It gets even more serious, though, if you stop sweating. That is a sign of heat stroke, which can lead to confusion and seizures. If you're having any of these symptoms, call 911 and stay in a cool place until help gets there. If you or somebody you know is in the sun and starts to feel sick, try to get to shade as quickly as possible. To cool down quickly, you can apply a wet cloth to your neck, your head, your armpits, under your leg area. Those are the spots where we lose 70% of our body heat, so it would help you cool down as quickly as possible. And then, of course, again, always call 911 in these situations.
Humans are not the only ones dealing with this week's hot weather. For your pets, remember to limit exercise on hot days and try to let them out early in the morning or tonight. The pavement is often too hot for their paws during the middle of the day. Here's a good rule of thumb. If you can't hold your hand down on the pavement for more than 10 seconds, your dog can't walk on it. And finally, dogs can get heat stroke just like humans, so keep a close eye on them when they are outside and give them plenty of water. If you have kids, a great way to cool down is at the splash pads. It's a free, easy, and fun way to help your kids stay cool. And today, by the way, is your final chance to enjoy the Spokane splash pads this year. They do close for the season after today.
We're taking a live look at traffic this morning at I-90 and University. You can see there's not much traffic on our roads at this point. We are still a little bit early, but we are expecting there to be a little bit more traffic this morning as kids are heading back to school across a lot of our region. We will keep an eye on that and let you know if there's any major backups as we continue with Up with KREM every 30 minutes.
We are tracking several wildfires this morning. In Latah County, Level 2 Get Set evacuations are in place for the White Pine Fire burning near the giant White Pine campground. The fire started just off Highway 6. Level 2 evacuations are in place along Palouse River Road and all county and forest roads within this set zone. The sheriff's office is asking drivers to avoid the stretch of highway between Amida and Harvard.
The entire town of Northport is still under a level 1 get ready evacuation as 2 lightning strikes caused fires burning in Stevens County. Level 1, 2, and 3 go now evacuations are in effect for the Marble and Onion Creek communities. An evacuation shelter is open at the American Legion post in Kettle Falls. The Crown Creek fire has burned almost 3,200 acres. It is 0% contained. The other fire we're tracking is the Blackhawk Mountain fire. That fire has grown to just under 400 acres. It is also 0% contained at this point.
And in Ferry County, the Katy Creek fire has burned more than 300 acres near Kettle Falls. A level 1 evacuation advisory has been issued for the area between Nancy Creek and Deadman Creek Road. Today, students will flood the halls of schools all across the inland Northwest.
So today is the start of school for nearly a dozen districts, one of those being Spokane Public Schools. In a message to students, staff, and families, SPS Superintendent Dr. Adam Swinyard says the district is trying to continue encouraging students to stay off of their phones and devices and get involved in the community. Swinyard said the cell phone policy they introduced last year helped lay the foundation to reach this goal.
We saw it make an impact this last year. Attendance improved. Their behavior improved, their grades went up, lunchrooms were louder and more vibrant.
In this same message, the district's partnership with Spokane Parks Department is something they are pushing right now. The Together Spokane initiative would pay for school and park improvement projects across the city. The bond will be on the November ballot, and we'll talk more about these topics with Dr. Swinyard a little bit later this morning. He's going to be live with us here at 7:30 on KSKN 22.
We are still a few hours away from the start of school, but some Spokane seniors are getting started early.
KREM 2's Christian Garza is live at One Spokane Stadium, where students from Lewis and Clark High School are there to celebrate their senior sunrise.
This is fun.
Yeah, good morning, Tim and Nicole. You know, I haven't seen so many happy faces to be out this early in the morning since I left the station with you guys, obviously. But I'm going to give you a look really quick at what I'm seeing right now. There's obviously a bunch of students that are playing Frisbee. They're laying down on blankets. They're taking photos. There's a group of parents that's over here on the corner that are just watching as their students have their first day of high school, which is something very, very special. And you know, I feel like it can't be the first day of school and we can't go out and ask these kids maybe some questions really quick. So let's go do that really quick and see how sharp their brains are this early in the morning. We're gonna come over to this group over here. Hello, everybody. Good morning. Oh my gosh. Alrighty, so my name's Christian. I'm a reporter with KREM 2. I'm gonna ask you guys just one simple question real quick to kind of get your brains going this morning. Is that okay? Yes. Okay, so history, first and foremost. Alrighty, so your face says it all. The Treaty of Paris ended which war? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The British America, is it a Civil War?
Nope, the Revolutionary War.
Yeah,
and hit the books, guys. Hit the books, guys. All right, we're going to keep going. We're going to keep moving real quick. I'm going to ask one more person real quick. And let's go over here to my friend. Hi, friend. Okay, so we're going to ask you one quick question real quick, okay? So really quickly for everybody, what is the Pythagorean theorem?
A squared plus B squared equals C squared.
He's so ready. You can graduate tomorrow, actually. Here you go. Great job. Great job. Yeah, exactly, right? Scholarship, KREM 2 scholarship. Really quickly, though, I do want to run over here to the parents and see how sharp the parents are this morning. We actually have a very special parent over here you may or may not recognize, guys. And I want to get Tim and Nicole's reaction to this parent really quick. So we're over here and we're going to ask a very special Laura Papetti. Oh my gosh. We're going to ask you one question, okay? Okay, so really quickly for you, who was the second president of the United States?
Oh my gosh, is this what you're asking the kids at 5 o'clock in the morning? Hurry,
Absolutely.
give me the answer.
10, 9, 8. It's John Adams. There we go. Yeah, there we go. Laura, you got it. You got it. Good morning.
I'm a senior.
It was, yeah. So if you're mad at anybody, blame Tim and Nicole later, okay? No, I'm just kidding.
I'm after you.
Alrighty. We'll go toss it back to you guys. We're going to have more fun here in the next half hour.
Good morning, Laura. And just for the record, everyone's heard it. I said Adams.
He did get it. He had it.
I did.
He said it immediately.
However, the other questions, I did not have any clue. All right, Christian, thanks so much. Students and teachers in the Meade School District are also headed back to school today after narrowly avoiding a strike. The Meade Education Association reached a tentative agreement with school leaders on Sunday night. Teachers still need to vote on the contract, but both sides agreed to start the school year on time. Members of the union will meet in the coming days to review and vote on the tentative agreement. As school begins in North Idaho, the Coeur d'Alene Fire Department is pitching in this morning, reminding drivers to use caution and watch for kids on the roadways and in neighborhoods. Today, they will start flashing their emergency lights near 7 Coeur d'Alene elementary schools 45 minutes before school starts, alerting drivers to drive carefully. Firefighters will also help children crossing busy streets.
Spokane police are asking everyone to slow down and pay attention as students head back to school. This morning, police will be out enforcing speeds around school zones, watching for distracted drivers and drivers who don't stop for school buses. As a quick reminder, school zone speed cameras will turn on again today when students are coming and going to school. And while today is the start of a new school year, next year will look a little bit different for students specifically at Spokane Public Schools. The district will be switching to a balanced calendar. The model will be shortening summer break by a few weeks to give more frequent breaks throughout the school year for both students and staff. The added breaks will be a week off in mid-October and then another week in February. The district says they made this decision after speaking with parents, students, and staff. Students will still be in school for their required 180 days set by state law.
We want to make sure students across the Inland Northwest have the tools they need to succeed. That's why we have our Tools to Schools campaign. If you want to help out, just text the word school to 509-448-2000 and you'll get a link to donate. You can also get prepackaged supplies at Office Depot to donate or make a donation at checkout.